It's going to be an interesting matchup, undefeated against an opponent who's been undefeated for over a decade.
Set it up for us because obviously there's a fight in the pyramids. It's a mad spectacle, isn't it?
It's an unbelievable spectacle, and the ring keep providing us with these crazy spectacles and crazy events. It's the location for this one that's just, I can't get my head around it. It'll be the experience of a lifetime. You break it down, and when it comes to the fight, Rico Verhoeven is a problem. He's a problem, and we don't actually know much about him from a boxing perspective, but we know nothing really. He's had one bout, and you cannot take anything from that at all. His kickboxing experience tells you an awful lot, but at the same time, Oleksandr Usyk is the problem that no one can solve. He is the puzzle that no one can figure out. And I think the same will apply to Rico Verhoeven in a boxing ring with him. If this was a kickboxing match, I'm trying to tell you, Alexander's in an awful lot of trouble. Do not take a kick off him. Thankfully for Oleksandr Usyk, this is a boxing match. And I think once them first 3 or 4 rounds pass, and that awkwardness and stance and style Oleksandr Usyk figures out, I think Rico could be in for a hard night's work.
I mean, someone was saying it could change boxing forever if he wins, Rico. How does Rico go about trying to solve that puzzle of Usyk?
It'd be the greatest shock boxing's ever seen. If Rico Verhoeven is to defeat Oleksandr Usyk, it will be the greatest victory in boxing history. Yes, it's the second professional fight on paper, but this is a guy whose second professional fight is against the undisputed, unified former cruiserweight champion of the world, the current undisputed unified heavyweight champion of the world. He's undefeated. Nobody has been able to touch this guy. It's peak Oleksandr Usyk. He's just defeated a man who's 20 stone and 6'9" in Tyson Fury twice. He's just defeated a record machine in Daniel Dubois who was on the run of his life. This isn't a guy who's washed up having a comeback fight against somebody. This is a guy in his peak and in his prime. Put that into perspective. If Rico Verhoeven is to do this, it's off the Richter scale. This is bigger than Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. That's how big this is. This would be the greatest shock in boxing history.
Last time out, Usyk really made Daniel Dubois' life a misery in that Wembley
he did.
battle. Just go back to that night in terms of, from your perspective, just how impressive Oleksandr was.
He bullies the bully. He beats everybody at their own game. And the most impressive thing about it is, guess what? He comes to your patch as well. He's the only fighter in the history of the sport that goes to other people's backyards and beats everybody up on their own patch. Unfortunately, he done it to me as well. And nothing annoys me more than when I see fighters don't give him the credit he deserves. Because not only is he such an amazing fighter, he's a wonderful human being. He's a really nice guy. And I could only imagine what he's been through in his personal life and what's gone on in this country. It's been very hard. This guy's never had it easy. He's had it hard all the way through. You know, European champion, Olympic gold medalist, world amateur champion. He's completed boxing. And people will say, why is he fighting Rico Verhoeven? Why not? He's in a position where he can dictate, and he's in that position of power now. We had a couple of these matches with the other heavyweight champions. We've seen Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou. It appealed to us. We've seen him knock Tyson Fury down. This is, I suppose, Oleksandr Usyk's Francis Ngannou. But which way is he going to approach it? Will he approach it like Tyson Fury did? And will he take him lightly? I don't believe he will. Oleksandr Usyk is the perfect professional. He's a diligent professional. You will never catch this guy sleeping. You have to get out of bed really, really early to catch him out. And you would forgive him for thinking, this guy's a kickboxer. I'm not going to have to be at 100% to beat this guy, just as Tyson Fury thought against Francis Ngannou. Or will you take the Anthony Joshua approach? Will you go in there and go, this is a serious fight, I've got to get rid of this guy.
On the day of the press conference, you were there. Eddie Hearn said to us, what he said to the crowd as well, you've got to be deluded really to take on someone of Usyk's kind of stature.
And exactly what Eddie said. Are you crazy? I think to be the very best at what you're doing, you have to be a little bit crazy.
He feels like Rico's kind of happy to do that. He said that the unorthodox style, as you said, will throw Usyk some problems.
It will, but what you'll also have to remember is all fighters are deluded. We're the best liars in the world because we lie to ourselves and we make ourselves believe anything is possible. So for Rico Verhoeven, he has lost, but it's been in the kickboxing world. Oleksandr Usyk is still undefeated. He believes nobody can beat him. Nobody has defeated him in professional boxing ring. He's undefeated, and he enters that ring with a kind of steely look and a demeanour of, you cannot beat me. You'd even look at him in the face-offs. He refuses to move. I promise you, every single face-off he has, he does not move. He will stand there for 20 minutes. Believe you me, I tested it. I stood there for how long when I faced him, and I just thought, this is ridiculous. It's going nowhere in the end. He put a piece of paper between us, but I turned away. And I just think for Rico Verhoeven, he's never in his whole life come across somebody like Oleksandr Usyk. He's a maverick, he's a unicorn, he's a one-off.
Just to talk about your relationship with Usyk, it was a lovely moment where you guys were on air with Anna, and he came and found you and wanted to give you a... Just tell us, like, obviously you fought him, but you've got a nice friendship outside of the ring. Like, how did that come about? What was that?
I've known him since amateur days. We were on a training camp. I was in Ukraine and he was there at the Klitschko Cup. I was supposed to box him. Fortunately for me, I didn't box him. I had to come home. My granddad passed away and I flew home out of the camp early. He's a lovely guy. He's a wonderful fella. When I fought him, I knew exactly what I was getting into with him. He's the only fighter. I've fought 2 people in my life, amateur and pro, and I didn't want to hit them. I just wanted to beat them. He was one of the ones. I never want to hit this guy. Usually I want to go in and take your head off, I'm not going to lie. But with him, I've just got a lot of admiration and respect for him. He's a great human being and he's an amazing fighter. You know, I'm sick of people telling me when they see me, oh, you were ahead when you got stopped, you know, going into the 8th round, you were ahead on 2 cards, Jordan on the 3rd card. Yeah, I was, but I was tired. And guess what? He made me tired. He's just better than me. He's absolutely exceptional. The relationship we've built since then, I think he's got a lot of admiration for me. And he has admiration for me because when he wins the Super 6 series, he becomes the best cruiserweight in the world. I was at heavyweight and I've just defeated David Haye for the 2nd time. And I'm retired and no one's willing to face him. Nobody wants to face him. In this country, in the world, nobody wants to give him the chance. And when he goes on TV and he says, with all them belts on his waist, I want Tony Bellew next to heavyweight. And as I said before, I was retired. But I can't turn down a challenge. And when I seen all them belts, I wasn't facing Oleksandr Usyk for the money. I was facing him for the glory. But like I just told you before, boxers are the best liars in the world because we lie to ourselves. I 100% walked that ring knowing I could beat Oleksandr Usyk, but I'm not stupid enough to say he couldn't beat me. I know he can beat me too. I've got to get everything 100% spot on. The game plan's got to be perfect, the camp's got to be perfect, and everything was perfect, and everything was going to plan. My plan was to draw his lead in the first half of the fight, counter sharply, and in the second half of the fight, go and press for the knockout. And by pressing for the knockout, I'll have won enough rounds in the first half of the fight to be able to go for it from round 8 onwards. The only thing that happened is I got tired. And I didn't envision getting tired. The things he was doing, the way he was manipulating distance, the front foot pressure, the constantly being right there, he was never more than that far away from my lead foot. And that doesn't sound like much to the layman who doesn't understand boxing, but that's that's exhausting. And I couldn't dictate that range. I had to fight so hard every single second of every single round to try and manipulate that. And like I said, even though you're out ahead, this guy felt like he was just getting warmed up. Oleksandr Usyk will never see a rise like he did from fighting me in popularity to the others. And that's not big in myself, but that's just telling you how it is. That's his first big opponent that opens him up to the masses. And as I said before, everybody now understands and knows and sees what I've always known about him. A great human being, a truly amazing fighter. And like the unicorn that I said he is.
If you can give us a prediction for that fight in the pyramids, where do you see it going?
I think this fight will be very exciting for the 6, 7, maybe 8 rounds it goes. I think Oleksandr Usyk will not want to go in there and really, he never really goes in look to do damage straight away and early. I think he'll have a look at Rico Verhoeven, he'll download what he's doing. He'll figure out what the feints will do to him, which side he'll draw him on. You know, he'll hit certain parts of the body. He's going to show you feints that make you do certain things and go in certain strategies and formations of which way you'll play it. Once he's downloaded all this, he'll get rid of Rico Verhoeven. He'll just have too much. And that's the way it will go. He does the same to everybody else. I told Josh, I told anybody who'd listen, he's going to download what you're doing and then he's going to use it against you. With Oleksandr Usyk, I can't explain the tiredness because he's constantly putting that pressure. Look at the Tyson Fury fight. That tells you all you need to know. A guy who's 6'9", he's 20 stone and he's being bullied. He's being pushed back by what he called, and I'm only using his words, a middleweight. It's unfathomable that he was able to push a 20 stone man back, and he's only my size. He's 15 stone. He's 6'3", and he bullied the heavyweight champion of the world who nobody gave him a chance against. And you know why he does that? Because of this. Admire him while he's still here. That's the only advice I will give to the viewers, to the people watching him, to the fighters that are learning from him, studying him. Enjoy him, because he won't be here much longer. And hopefully he knows when enough's enough. But Oleksandr Usyk, it's been an absolute pleasure. What a fighter, what a person, what a champion.